Warning: failure to follow these instructions may result in possible serious or fatal injury.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the airing of Grievances. I'm Eric Raymer. That's Robert Grieve, and it's a Saturday morning at 9:30 in the morning, and we're glad you are with us. Now, if you're watching this at any other time throughout the week, we're still glad you're with us.
Thank you.
And if you don't mind, we would love it if you would click the subscribe button, and when you're done with that, click that thumbs up button. That tells YouTube that this is content that is worthy of sharing, and we genuinely appreciate your activity, your participation in that. Rob, happy Saturday to you.
Happy Saturday to you. My dear friends, happy Saturday to you.
Yes, yes.
Thanks for all your interactions and likes, shares, and comments, especially the comments. Keep them coming. Love them.
So, Rob, the title of today's video is strong language?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, well, you've been warned. Buckle up. What are we talking about today?
You know, cars, vehicles are incredibly complex anymore.
Of course.
Between the metals that they're made out of and the technology that's involved in them, it's a lot to think of when repairing a vehicle, if you're repairing it properly.
Sure.
And I just want to start by reading part of a statement from the Alliance of Automobile Manufacturers and the Association of Global Automakers.
Okay.
And just the last little section: failure to follow OEM repair procedures in the course of post-collision repair should be considered an unauthorized modification of a vehicle and its systems, introducing the potential for bodily injury and death to any future drivers and occupants of the vehicle, as well as the occupants in other motor vehicles on the roadway. So we take repairing vehicles very seriously because of that.
Of course.
And you, the consumer, need to be engaged in the repair of your vehicle, whether it be by reading the estimate and asking questions, or asking to stop down during the process and have people explain what's going on and what kind of equipment are they using, so on and so forth.
Right.
A few years ago, we put a meme up there. Maybe you'll throw it up here.
Here it is.
Everybody is entitled to their opinion, except when it comes to safely repairing a vehicle.
You said that.
I did say that. I just said it again.
You know, it probably could not possibly be any more relevant than it is today.
Yes. So, yes, everybody's got their opinions. Who is it that has their opinions? Let's talk about the who for a second.
Okay.
Your repair shop, maybe yourself, and certainly a third-party bill payer, such as an insurance company.
Yeah.
They're going to have opinions on what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. But that doesn't mean it's your opinion or my opinion or the opinion of many shops that watch the channel.
Right.
You know, our opinions mean less and less as these cars become more and more advanced. And the safety of consumers has never been more paramount because of the driving habits since the pandemic.
Yes.
The severity of the accidents, the distracted driving, all of it's documented.
It is.
And it's, there's no more, I just tapped you. It's, I crushed you.
Yeah, people are driving faster. the accidents are requiring far more in the way of repair, and people are getting hurt at a greater rate than ever before.
Yeah, and that's even with all the safety systems that are installed on the vehicles today. So I've been getting myself ready for some depositions that I've been requested to attend. And
Okay.
and just reviewing the files and the paperwork in the files, and some of the paperwork that's in the file are repair procedures. And so I'm just familiarizing myself with them, because these cars have been repaired quite a long time ago,
Okay.
which is the legal system today.
It is, yes.
They wait for you to forget, and that doesn't take very long for an old guy like me.
No, but that is a strategy of the insurer to delay as long as possible
Absolutely.
so that it's harder to defend.
Absolutely. So, as I'm reading, this is for a Dodge Ram, a newer Dodge Ram, 2022 Dodge Ram truck. And as I'm reading the procedures, and this is about use of heat during the repair,
Okay.
whether that's welding or heating up something to move it, or welding on studs to pull out a dent, whatever the heat may be.
All right.
This is talking about the use of heat during a repair.
Gotcha.
And nice, in big bold letters, it says, warning. Failure to follow these instructions may result in possible serious or fatal injury. That's important for you to know.
I can testify that that is exactly what it says in big bold letters right in the middle of that procedure.
Yeah, and as a consumer, and you need your vehicle repaired, you need it repaired properly. And if they being whatever shop that you're using, don't pull up these things and understand how serious it is, that you can no longer use your opinion,
Right.
or even prior knowledge that you might have, because this document on use of heat has been revised a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And as it changes, you need to know the changes, and that means you need to look up the procedures
Every time.
because they change. It's serious. So when we say, strong language, all these repair procedures that the manufacturer comes up with, first off, it goes through tremendous engineering first. Then before anybody gets to see it outside of the company, it goes through legal.
Sure.
And legal has to look at it to make sure it's okay. And to have verbiage in repair procedures that says failure to follow these instructions may result in possible serious or fatal injury, that's a very strong comment.
Is it just Dodge?
No.
Or Ram?
No. I have another one here. This is an interesting one. And this one is from Toyota. Covers all Toyota, Lexus, and Scion vehicles.
All right.
And this is a collision repair information bulletin, or otherwise known as a CRIB.
Mm-hmm.
180 if you want to look it up. So if you look up Toyota CRIB, CRIB 180, you can get to this document. And it's talking about use of genuine parts. Genuine Toyota, Lexus, Scion parts.
Okay.
And it says in here, if alternative parts are used, systems may not operate correctly or be disabled, which may result in serious injury or death.
It doesn't seem to be a whole lot of ambiguity in that verbiage. But I have been witness to, and we have shared with you a number of times, insurance adjusters who, in spite of this language that you provide to them, say those are recommendations.
Yeah, we have a different opinion.
It's just a suggestion.
Yeah. And if they go through, and when I say they, the manufacturer,
Yeah.
go through all this effort, and keep in mind that this document was created in Japanese first,
Yes.
translated to English,
Yes.
and then gone through whatever laws are applicable, and lawyers and so on and so forth, in the United States.
Right.
So this has gone through a lot for them to talk about serious injury or death, and they make it nice and clear. And you, the consumer, should understand that using some of these other parts or some of these other procedures, or forget about all that and somebody else's opinion, as opposed to what the manufacturer has put in writing,
Yeah.
then everybody's at risk.
Sure.
So there's two things at play here. When repairing a vehicle, consumer safety is number one.
Yeah. It has to be, right?
Yeah. The second thing at play is the liability of the shop and the people that did the repairs.
Yes.
If I choose to do a repair based on what the insurer says, as opposed to what I know, and opposed to what I might learn by looking through the procedures for that particular repair, then I'm possibly putting you at risk, the consumer, and your passengers, and possibly passengers of cars around you while you're driving.
Sure.
And I'm assuming all that liability because the insurance company isn't going to indemnify me or you because I did the repairs.
Right.
So why would I stray outside and do something against what the manufacturer says should be done, especially seeing I happen to be Toyota certified in this case.
Right.
And, you know, I think it's really important for you, the consumer, to know that, you know, you've got to be engaged in the repair process to make sure that you're feeling comfortable and that people aren't suggesting things that are not in your best interest.
Right.
The insurer's job is to make you whole. All the way whole. Not, like this says, failure to follow OEM procedures in the course of a post-collision repair should be considered an unauthorized modification of the vehicle and its system. So they say, well, you could just do this. Well, no, I can't do that.
Can't modify.
Because that's not the way the car was pre-loss.
Right.
And that's not the way the car was designed. And we have an obligation to you. And the shop, whichever one you pick, has an obligation to you. They may think they have a bigger obligation to the insurance company depending on what shop you pick. And we talked about that last week. But they still have an obligation to keep you and your passengers safe. And we take that all very seriously, and I'm, you know, we're going through these, I'm going through this exercise to understand what questions might be asked and, you know, all the rest of that stuff. And I'm just realizing throughout the whole thing is I didn't do it the way they wanted it done. I did it the way I knew was the right way to do it.
When you say they wanted it to be done,
the insurer,
the insurer,
the insurer that is asking me to attend.
Yes.
And you know what? We have an obligation to you, the consumer, not to anybody else.
Yeah.
And no matter what shop you bring it to, has that same obligation. How serious they take it, I don't know.
Speaking of serious, it reminds me of a joke that I learned when I was a child.
Can't wait.
What's black and white and should be red all over?
The procedures.
The procedures. This. You can tell that joke if you ever get called to court.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right.
But anyway, Everybody's entitled to their opinion, except when it comes to safely repairing a vehicle. You need to know that.
Well said, and a pretty good meme, too.
Yeah, not bad.
Rob, happy Saturday to you, brother. Thank you for bringing this.
Happy Saturday to you. My dear friends, I hope you found it valuable, and you join me in making this a very serious conversation and holding people accountable.
Absolutely.
So, God bless. Have an amazing week, and we'll see you next Saturday.